Welcome to our channel. Cara Delevingne. It's a lot easier now. I'm not the new hot young thing. London-born Cara Delevingne, 31, began modeling in her teens and was twice Model of the Year at the British Fashion Awards. She started her acting career in Joe Wright's 2012 film adaptation of Anna Karenina. Subsequent big screen roles include Paper Towns, Suicide Squad, Tulip Fever, and London Fields. On TV, she has starred in Carnival Row, Only Murders in the Building, and American Horror Story. She is now making her stage debut in the West End production of Cabaret. We're speaking the morning after you went to a Chelsea match. Are you a big fan? I definitely was in childhood, so it was a treat to return. I grew up going to Stamford Bridge with my uncle. Gianfranco Zola was my favorite player. When I was 8, I refused to take off my Chelsea kit for a wedding, so I wore it beneath my bridesmaid's dress. Luckily, the groom was a Chelsea fan too, so nobody minded. You're currently starring as Sally Bowles in Cabaret. How is it going? It's one of the most intense and rewarding things I've ever done. I love the movie and have been to a number of different stage productions. I saw Sienna Miller do it on Broadway a decade ago, then Amy Lou Wood and Maud Apatow in the West End. I'm also a huge fan of Bob Fosse. This is a pinch-me moment in my career. Cabaret has already been done so well by so many casts. Entering that long lineage of different Sallys was incredible. How do the nerves compare to screen acting? The first night was the most nervous I've ever been about anything. It wasn't just a new environment for me, but Sally is outwardly very confident in everything she does. On the inside, it was a different story. It's difficult to embody when you're maybe questioning your own ability. Lulu recently revealed that she never speaks before noon to save her voice. I get that. I have damaged vocal cords, so have to be careful. I gauge where my voice is at. Usually I can tell in the morning if it's a speaking day or not lapse. Do you feel an affinity with the Sally Bowles character? I'm certainly fascinated by her. I made up a whole backstory for her. It's very specific, but allows me to empathize with why she does the things she does. Sally's not always likable and she does some horrible things, so understanding her motivation is helpful to me. More than anything, I love to entertain, so we have that in common. Do Cabaret's themes feel relevant today? The subject matter is always timely because there's still so much hatred and division over race or religion. That's why this show has been done so many times. Sadly, its resonance never goes away. It's light and bright, which makes it even more tragic. What do you make of the debate about ticket prices? Should theater be more accessible? It should be, but it's hard because it costs so much to put on productions. I love what Jeremy O. Harris is doing with his blackout nights for all Black identifying audiences to attend. It's important to make theater more inclusive and allow audiences from different backgrounds to come. The more diverse, in every sense, the better. Is it a joy to be back home in London? And what do you miss most when you're away? It truly is. The traffic and weather are still a nightmare, but that's the beauty of it. Those things never change. I miss the people the most, and man, I miss Sunday pub lunches so badly. Anything with gravy and potatoes, please. The show is running on Broadway too. Would you like to reprise your role there? Broadway would be a dream. I've definitely caught the theater bug. I'd always loved the escapism of being on stage as a kid. I remember jumping off stage at school, landing badly, and breaking my wrist, but not feeling it until after the show. It's the same now, especially being sober, that adrenaline and sensation of losing yourself. I've had some personal things happen in my life, but I go on stage and forget about all of it. You're friends with Taylor Swift and appeared in her Bad Blood video. What's it like watching her stratospheric success? I'm extremely proud of her. She works so hard and loves what she does with her whole heart. Between Taylor and Beyoncé, women seem to be leading the charge in music, and it's about time. You've spoken about your experience with Harvey Weinstein. Have you seen positive change since the movement? Yes and no. There's still a lot that happens that gets swept under the rug. Unfortunately, big change happens slowly. Some people get canceled. Others behave terribly and manage to hide it. I hope certain people who've done criminal things will get found out. What did Taylor say? Trash takes itself out. Outplayed artist Alice in Series 2 of Only Murders in the Building. Was that as much fun as it looked? Such a fun time. Selena Gomez, Marnie Martin Short, and Steve Martin were lovely people to hang out with, on and off set as well. I loved the show already, so to be on it was a dream. It flew by too fast. What's the worst pronunciation of your surname you've ever heard? There've been so many bad ones. De la Vaginette, maybe? I don't mind. It makes me cackle. You're appearing in American Horror Story. Did you relish playing the mysterious Ivy? I adore watching American Horror Story, so that was like taking it off my bucket list. Creator Ryan Murphy has a way of drenching himself in macabre. Totally camp, totally outrageous. It was a lot to film. Definitely not a dull experience. Do you still encounter snobbery about your modeling career and struggle to get taken seriously as an actor? I honestly don't know if it will ever go away. I hope it will. The media still always refer to me as a model, even though that's not my main job. It's taken a lot longer than I thought to change perceptions. Once people put you in a box, you seem to be sealed into it. I just want to work with people who inspire me, do jobs that make people ask questions and create things that push boundaries. As long as my peers and people in the industry respect that, that's all I care about. Dame Joan Collins is your godmother. Has she given you any acting advice? She's told me a lot about her own experiences and just general advice too. She always instilled in me that if I really wanted something, to have self-belief and make it happen. She's always known how stubborn and determined I am. She's a legend, so having her in my corner is amazing. Your house in LA was destroyed by fire 2 months ago. How do you go about recovering from that? I still can't quite believe it. I have to force myself to deal with it, but it's way easier to distract myself by going full force into Cabaret. The day it happened, they asked if I still wanted to do the show. I was like, the last thing I want to do is drop this. Stuff is stuff, of course, but there are things you can't buy again. Sentimental stuff that's impossible to replace. It makes you grateful for the people who make you feel safe and the sense of home that brings. It makes you thankful for being alive. You're a Glastonbury regular. Will you be going this summer, and do you go in disguise? Depends how I am after I finish this show, whether I need a holiday or a festival. I used to go in disguise, but not so much now. When you're young and you're first famous, people recognize you all the time. Once you get older and you're not the fucking new hot young thing anymore, it's a lot easier. I can just walk down the street, no problem. Do people ever mistake you for another famous person entirely? They do. Emma Watson, randomly. Are you enjoying your 30s so far? You seem in a good place. I'm in the best place I've ever been. I love my 30s. 30s are the one. Thanks you for watching. Stay connected with us for more videos.